He paid for shout out.
Okay.
All right. On my side. We've got your back. Dial area code 773-616-0906.
You want to start doing that next week?
Yeah, on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
Just make sure that can y'all hear now? Make sure you Zoe Tuesday and Thursday put the Pinnacle commercial where then I come right in after.
Okay.
Recover from the unexpected. Pinnacle Construction and Remodeling has got you covered. Specializing in home rehab, expert flood restoration.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good story, Allison. You could definitely chime in on.
Which one?
It's about child care.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. The applesauce pouches.
Yeah.
What about it?
They're tainted like with lead.
Would you be quiet? I wanted to the element of surprise when we reading the story to make us say, "Oh."
Ladies and everything, though.
Unfortunately, you know what? I said I was gonna do a study to see because our water at home is not good water. We don't drink it. You know, it's old pipe.
Oak Park don't get Chicago water.
Well, we have old pipes. Our house was built in the late 18. You know, so those pipes are very old, and sometimes I can see brown come out. So yeah, so of course we don't drink it, but I wonder like bathing in that water and all that. Do that have an effect on your body? I said I was gonna look that up, especially with all the the health challenges we keep facing. I'm like I need to see if that's a correlation. But Tina said, "Hello, Allison Perkins Caldwell."
Hi, Tina.
You saying it? They hear you. You right here. They see you. Make sure Allison on Wi-Fi.
Oh, all right.
Because I see she kind of delayed. But Tina.
Oh, but Tina.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you on Wi-Fi.
So go ahead and call 866-447-3344. 64.
cocktail hour room, and they had another cocktail hour with live band, and it was networking. I mean, anytime you can go to a gala and network and meet people, it was nice. So kudos to ACT. I had to make sure I shouted them out because they're really trying to move Austin forward. And we got great organizations, as we know. Shout out Malcolm Crawford and AAA BNA and the Austin Chamber of Commerce. But Austin coming together, I found out they have brought over $100 million in development to Austin so far. I don't know what Adam doing behind my head. You know, white people are not supposed to be waving behind a black man's head. But in other news, or in the raw, I know Tamara, this story will really touch to her, and then Allison, you as well. 22 children in 14 states have reportedly fallen ill after eating applesauce pouches tainted with lead. According to the AP News, the CDC issued a health alert for parents and doctors on Monday, November 13th. According to the CDC, multiple states have reported cases to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration linking high blood lead levels to children who have eaten recalled cinnamon containing applesauce product. Now they didn't get a name right now, but hopefully we'll find it. Oh, here it is. The FDA reports that the affected applesauce products include recalled Wanabana apple cinnamon fruit puree pouches and Schnucks brand cinnamon flavored applesauce pouches and Variety Pack and Wise brand. Wait a minute. All these different companies, are they made in the same
plant?
Or is it the cinnamon? I'm trying because it's all cinnamon applesauce. But 22 kids have been sickened by the lead tainted applesauce pouches thus far. The outlet reports that the children are between the ages of 1 and 3. I cannot imagine MJ, we giving him some applesauce thinking it's helpful and it's hurting them. So the FDA reports that the children who have been impacted by the lead poisoning may not have, and I quote, obvious immediate symptoms. However, short-term exposure to lead can lead to symptoms such as headaches, vomiting, abdominal pain, colic, and anemia in children. Long-term exposure can lead to muscle aches, burning or weakness, constipation, tremors, and even weight loss, among other symptoms. Now, listen, if the only symptoms was weight loss, I eat all that applesauce. The CDC adds that the effects of lead poisoning in children may continue into adulthood. Now, that's scary to think that your kid is eating applesauce at 1, and now it's going to affect them for the rest of their lives. That is terrible. That's terrible. So furthermore, AP News notes that the impacted applesauce products have been sold in store and online. The FDA states that consumers should not eat, sell, or serve the Wanabana, Schnucks, or Weiss applesauce. I don't know none of those brands. Right. And funny enough, I love applesauce, and I buy the little pouches of applesauce before we had kids. So I got some in the refrigerator. I need to make sure that ain't none of them this. But man, that said, we're praying for these families. So Allison, you're a child care provider. I'm sure you serve applesauce. You guys give them applesauce, right?
We do serve applesauce, and that's just terrible to think that you're serving something that you think is a healthy alternative, and it turns out that it's actually causing the children harm. And as a parent, you try to trust these brands and these companies, but we all have to be vigilant and mindful that we just got to pay attention. We got to pay attention to everything.
And that said, and Stay in Your Lane just said, don't eat none of it, make your own, which is definitely the alternative that we all can do. But unfortunately, we all don't have the time or the resources to make our own. And then you go to buy something that's on the pack said GMO free, is organic and all that.
No sugar and all the things. And then turns out
now you got lead. You served your baby applesauce with a little lead, on the side. Which it's like, dang, that is
horrible.
But we are praying. But you know what? With all of the sickness and especially like with MJ's health and stuff, healthy living has been the number one conversation in our house, and we have been trying raw as much as possible. Our own fruits, our own vegetables, because I just don't really trust anything anymore. You know, all these recalls, but you know, I trust God, and faith without works is dead. So you know what? That's why we have to continue to pray before we eat, because you know the prayer is take all of the impurities out and make sure it's nourishing for our bodies, and you know. That's why we got to pray before we eat. So you know we're gonna continue to pray for this family
And give God the glory.
and give God the glory, because Karen Clark Shear said it best. You gotta stay prayed up right here on the brunch munch on Inspiration 1390. That is it, right?
Yeah.
Turn it down just a little. Tina Hyman said, "Is this Allison's daycare 54th and Racine?"
Yes, 55th and Racing.
55th. Yep,
Yeah,
Tina.
that's
This is
Hey,
her.
Tina.
Biz idea. I make the applesauces. You front the money, my hey Jay. Right. We get us some applesauce. The business going. Yeah, I like applesauce. Adam, do you eat applesauce?
I only like pork.
You only eat pork.
On his pork, like pork chops and applesauce.
Oh,
It's really good.
Yeah, it's very
I
good.
never had it that way. I've seen people do it.
Applesauce,
What's the name of that
corn,
restaurant?
mashed potatoes, pork.
Perry's.
I love
Perry's
that's a
has a
I think
great
Perry's closing. Ain't that who I just said was
Perry.
closing?
No, you said some seafood joint.
No, it's
You said like Eddie V's or something.
Right.
Yeah, Eddie V's is closing.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what you said, yeah.
Yeah, Perry's has a great pork chop, and they do it with applesauce. Yeah, and it's like this thick. Yeah. Oh, Jackson, stop eating pork.
I was gonna ask you about Jackson. I got a Jackson that works with us now, but I told him I had so many things to do this morning, and I couldn't get back to pick him up. So I'm like, just take the rest of the day off.
Driver?
Right. I hired them to drive me around,
And you pick him up.
and I pick him up. Otis asked say,
now I really want a job.
Otis asked the other day, you driving yet? He was like, no. You know, I don't trust people to drive me, really.
I don't either.
But my mind needed, because I be in the car trying to do a million things, and the driving time is what throw me off. Because I'm 40 minutes here, 40 minutes back. I done lost 2 hours of good working time. But I be picking this phone up, so I said, nope, Jackson can drive me. It's been about 2 months now. He ain't got behind. Hey, Joni, hello from LA. That's my inspiring boss lady cousin, Allison. Oh, hey, I like LA as well.
Actress.
Okay.
In LA.
Go ahead. Joni, I said it right?
Yep, Joni Bonneville. That's my cousin.
Yeah, that's a successful last name, too. Look, Justin's like, yep.
Yep, her and her husband, they're both.
Zoe, you can cut it up a little. Hey. I didn't cut it down a little. She turned it off. I'm like, oh, the best jerk chicken in Chicago. Of course, to me, I believe 3D's jerk chicken on the west side. But they pretty good. 3D's is good. It's funny you just asked me that. Somebody asked me that last night at the party. And I said 3D's, and I found a new place in Maywood.
There's this place up in Rogers Park that's real good.
And they probably real Jamaicans, too.
Oh, straight from Jamaica. They're from Jamaica.
71st and what?
You ain't talking about Jerk 48, are you? Because Jerk 48, shout out to Jerk 48. I know the owners.
Jerk 48 is good.
It's American, though, you know. Yes. The owner is from out west, so I know.
Yeah, the one in Rogers Park, they from Jamaica, and they get everything sourced from Jamaica. It's fantastic.
It's this place on 103rd and Halsted. It's really 102nd and Halsted. Really, really good.
You know what it's called?
What it?
Tamara did go out of town.
Yeah.
Where'd she go?
Mike's alright.
Oh no! Oh,
I don't know. I forgot.
I'm like, what? I thought she. I didn't know.
But she went out of town. Yes.
Yeah, I just saw her text you. It came up. Oh. Why do you? She just said landed. Look.
Oh, hey, she grounded.
Like I forgot that
was in the air.
She was in there. So you had me on his line.
How was she texting in the air?
Because they let you Wi-Fi.
She came through after she got off.
But I text on the plane. You buy the Wi-Fi.
Oh, you can do that now?
Yeah. You could do that.
I've never been on a plane and be able to contact. That's what I like about planes. You don't contact anybody for like 2 or 3 hours.
I'd be on FaceTime on the plane because the Wi-Fi.
You be on FaceTime.
I'm with you saying, Elaine, no hundreds for me either. I ain't going. No, the only time I'm going to the hundreds, which I would love one today if somebody want to bring it, a hoagie from Home of the Hoagie.
Yeah, Home of the Hoagie. And Home of the, well, it's not, I don't know if it's the original Home.
Yeah, I don't mess with them knockoffs.
Yeah, on 162nd, and I'm gonna try them. I'm gonna try them.
I sent Otis and his friend Lonnie, 2 senior citizens. I said, go to Home of the Hoagie on 111. Lonnie said, oh, I know another hoagie place better than them, but didn't tell me. And Otis, he was like, Marcel will never know. They brought me them sandwiches. I threw that bag there. I said, now, you didn't go to Home of the Hoagie. And Otis looked at me. He said, I didn't. Lonnie said, you wouldn't know the difference.
Here's your Pinnacle commercial.
Oh, thank you. Oh, bring me in that, though.
Their dedicated team is committed to quality, serving our Chicago community with the respect and excellence it deserves.
Yeah.
For a home that stands out,
South Shore.
call them at 708
It's a nice Caribbean population over there.
708-623-4814. Elevate your home with Pinnacle Construction and Remodeling, your partners in building perfection.
Pinnacle Construction and Remodeling, the premier general contractors here in Chicago. Listen, we had them on the show not too long ago. They do amazing work. If you need some work done at your house, give them a call, 708-623-4814. That's 708-623-4814. And Deacon Robertson and his family will take very good care of you. Listen, we're taking care of you right here on the Brunch Bunch. We have Allison Caldwell in the building with us. And you know what? It's a fun Friday, so we're going to take you to a little sunshine with the Sunday Service Choir right here. No, he was here. He took Tammy home yesterday, and Tammy got Modi autograph and a video.
Oh, okay. With Curtis Blow?
Yeah.
He was here?
Yes, he was here.
Sitting in that seat.
All right, let me look this. Look, all right, Curtis Blow.
And I want you to know
that these are the birds.
I'm like, these folks was in here fanning out yesterday. Tammy, now I could tell you today, y'all. Adam didn't know who the heck Curtis Blow was.
I gotta do my research.
When I texted him, I said Curtis Blow. You know, he was like, okay. I was like, do you know what that is? He was like, no.
You ain't know.
Adam, you gotta start researching the guests.
Oh, I did my
So
research.
sometimes if I have guests, I don't tell people who they are, especially if they special. Because I knew one, I'm like, Lord, when Adam see this name, he goes go crazy. A football player for the Bears.
You still don't know what he plays.
I talked to him yesterday, too.
Really? How's he doing? He's injured.
I didn't know that. I was at the game last week, my first Bears game. You know, they put it in the group chat. Who wants to? Yeah, I got to.
That was your
You
first
know what?
one
I
ever?
asked Dwayne, he didn't want to go. I was on my way home,
Wow.
and it was like 4:30. We was like, back.
Oh yeah,
Because
but
we
that you
live so
get
far,
back.
like we was like,
That was your
all right.
first game ever?
Yeah.
That's the best experience for your first time ever.
I text Jeff.
I was
I
up in the
said,
300 levels when he was up at the United Club.
yeah, that was some good
Was it
tickets.
cold?
No,
No, it was good actually.
it was nice
I'd
weather,
take my
and we
coat off.
were in the United Club, so we got to go in and get the VIP treatment.
How many tickets?
He only had two.
Who'd you go with?
I took one of my homies because Otis told me, H, no, I don't want to go to that. So, but my building having tacos and margaritas. I said, you know what,
Was that a Thursday?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a Thursday.
Football.
Taco Thursday.
That's why I said, y'all just switched it. But it was nice. But I was looking for my homie. I got a new friend that he a Bears player.
No,
And
he's injured. That's why you ain't
he told me he had a concussion. I'm like, oh shoot.
Marcel, when y'all had a lot of music in here, was anybody excited?
I never heard none of his music either, folks.
Tamara's a little excited, yeah.
Was you?
Yeah, she knew.
I know about music, so I saw that on his page.
I became a fan after he was a guest.
I became a fan of Kevin Corbett. Remember him?
Yeah.
Playing the guitar.
I'm gonna text Molly now that you said that. I try to keep those relationships up. We never know when we're gonna need these celebrities to help us do something. B. Simone.
Yeah,
I met B. Simone, didn't I? I didn't know who that was either.
We're gonna be doing a brunch.
I just met a gospel singer out there.
What in the caucasity?
On today's episode of What in the Caucasity, I just must say, sweet justice. Two white men are facing double trouble for breaking a black man's jaw in an unprovoked racist attack. In addition to prison time, they were also ordered by a state judge to pay the victim over $1 million in damages. Maurice Diggins and his nephew, Dusty Leo, both of Bedford, Maine, were charged with conspiracy. First of all, those names should be charged. Maurice Diggins and Dusty Leo. You know what? Kudos to our white brothers and sisters for naming their son Dusty. I just love it. But they were charged with conspiracy and committing a hate crime after attacking Damon McCullum in April of 2018. Now, McCullum was just stepping out of a 7-Eleven from celebrating a college scholarship for one of his 3 children when Thing 1 and Thing 2 scolded him with racial slurs. Per an Associated Press report, Diggins, who donned a white pride worldwide tattoo, taunted him and blocked the doorway of the store when suddenly old Dusty launched a punch toward McCullum's jaw. When McCullum ran, he alleged the pair followed him home. Not too long after that, Tweedledee and Tweedledum were arrested and handed federal charges per the Portland Press Herald. Now, McCullum testified at their trial in March of 2020 that the incident left him with a broken jaw and his mouth was wired shut for a month. Now, McCullum sued Leo and Diggins in civil court last fall. And you know what? I'm about to flip this desk on. Why would you interrupt me in the middle of my story to about 20? I know what time it is. But his attorney, Allison Knowles, said McCullum required extensive surgery. So after a 1-hour hearing on this past Thursday, Judge Mulhern ordered them to pay $700,000 in punitive damages and $500,000 in compensation damages. Diggins and Leo were not at the hearing. Knowles acknowledged that Diggins and Leo likely don't have 1.2 million. When a name like Dusty, I'm sure. But that there are civil procedures for determining what assets defendants have and what can be seized to make up for the payments. The pair were handed their federal prison sentences in 2020. At the moment, Dusty is serving 10 years. However, his sidekick who threw the sucker punch at McCullum only received 3 years in federal prison and is expected to be released right before Thanksgiving. How he didn't get the time and he threw the punches. But, you know, just sweet justice was served. They did go to jail. And we see these stories, but guess what? Nothing ever happened. As I was reading the story and realized they got to pay him $1.2 million with a name like Dusty, I said, Lord, this brother ain't getting paid. But whatever assets they got then will be seized, if they got any. So shout out to the court systems for finally giving justice. Now, I'm gonna keep an eye on this story because here's what's gonna happen. They gonna probably try to appeal this case, and the other one not gonna serve 10 years. He gonna get out early,
Well, they
and
really got nothing to lose.
oh
They
yeah,
have nothing to give them.
well, Dusty and Tweedledee and Tweedledum, you got what came to you. But when you think about that was in Maine, right? I wanted to go to Maine earlier this year. After we had Maddox, we said we were going to Portland, Maine, which is a beautiful oceanside town. But I had to do one thing as I was looking up tickets.
What?
I Googled, are there any black people in Maine? I'm like, it's sad, but I don't want to go nowhere where I don't want to be in no sundown town. And unfortunately, I don't know how far Biddeford, Maine is, but when you think of Maine, you don't think of hillbillies, country, races. You think of East Coast town, nice small towns, fall. But I guess, racists live everywhere. So
yes, well, it shows that consequences have actions.
Yep.
And they got exactly what they deserve.
Diggins and Dusty, Tweedledee, Tweedledum, that's what you get. But you know what? We won't forget. We won't let you forget. And Ruben Studdard and Fred Hammond said, we have not forgotten, right here on the Brunch Lunch. And then we coming right in for the books. I only play 1 minute of this.
Actions have consequences. I said consequences have actions. I said
consequences have actions. Actions have consequences.
That's what I meant to say. Yeah. But they do.
Turn this down just a smidget. Cowards, they bad together. Fishing poles and sheets with holes. Yeah. These people are nuts out here.
Never heard of that.
Can you put that up?
Yeah. Where do you get one of those?
I got it from Apple. I need to order a new case.
What?
I like the charger.
Stanley Lane said it's beautiful now. I bet. We'll get that one day. But we won't be going to where they at? Biddeford.
Yeah, they can keep that place.
I have never heard a name like Dusty.
That sounds like out of a TV show.
Sounds like out of a TV straight trailer park.
Trailer park like a Western.
Come here, Dusty. What is this? Oh, you got questions.
Yes, but
we ain't using none of these. All right, bring us back in. Sugar said, Dusty, Mississippi. Staying lane, God will keep us safe. You're right about that. But faith without works is dead. I got to make sure there's some black. I did connect with some black groups in Portland. So they said it's a really welcoming area.
Okay, you a boater now? Anchors away?
You believe, you better know it. Zoe, you ready? You're rocking with the Brunch Bunch right here on Inspiration 1390. It's your main man, Action Jackson. And filling in for Tamara Fair, who's not on the air, is our great friend, Allison Perkins Caldwell. What's up, Allison?
What's up, Marcel?
Listen, Allison, I don't need to, look, I was looking, but I don't really need to read a bio for an introduction. Allison is the owner of Allison's Child Care, a chain of child care. I know they all got different names, though. I know they got Baby Cakes Learning Center is one of them. Learning Academy. Look, she's also the owner of a few edible arrangements. She is an author. She is just an amazing entrepreneur. and a lifelong student. She loves going to school. She also has a skincare line. She's doing great things, and I'm glad to call her friend, big sister, because I look up to her, and I want to be just like you when I grow up. But today we're talking about her great book series, Fat Cat and the Family. Let's talk about it, Allison. Listen, tell the believers what is Fat Cat, who's the family, and what made you write these children books.
All right. Fat Cat and the Family is a 14-book children's series, and we actually just came out with a coloring book as well.
Ooh.
Where parents can, if they didn't want to like invest in the whole series, they could invest in a coloring book and get a feel for the stories. The first 7 books talk about concepts that children, go through, like empathy, tolerance, just like that story that we just heard about. I was like, wow, that's really relatable in the books because we actually have a race situation that happens in
Oh, wow.
one of the books, and the empathy that's shown from Allie, like to get to the root of the problem of why she has this bully picking on her. And, there's a lot of symbolism and just a lot of things about accepting people for who they are, having tolerance, and just understanding that sometimes it's really not about you, it's always about the person. Yeah.
No, I love it. And so, what was your inspiration behind the book? Because, okay, we know Fat Cat. We got Allie.
Right.
It was the main character. That's little Allison.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it's loosely based on my actual whole life, just growing up. And actually, the names have not been changed to protect the innocent. So everybody in the book is a real person in my life.
Oh, wow.
They are the main characters and the stars of my life, my family and my friends. And this is my way to honor them.
That's amazing. So let's talk about let's talk about you growing up. Where did you grow up? You not born and raised in Chicago, right?
I am. I was born in Chicago, raised, in Chicago, but I went back and forth. My summers, I spent a lot of summers in New Orleans, in Louisiana with my cousins and stuff. Yeah.
So, okay, so you got the Southern, and I'm sure that's where the racial interactions, I'm sure, came from. From a lot of, not from Chicago, like Juicy Schmoulet said when he lied and said the MAGA people tried to rope him up downtown. But,
actually, the racial stuff did come from Chicago.
Are you serious?
Really, and not from Louisiana.
Are you?
I'm very serious.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, the racial stuff came from. I mean, Chicago is one of the most segregated cities in America.
Yeah,
it's the most segregated city, in America, and in Louisiana is actually not like that. Yeah.
Well, I'll be John Brown. I'll be Dusty. Well, so let's talk about this first book. So let the believers know about the first book.
Well, the very first book is called Liver, Onions, and Apple Pie. That used to be my favorite meal as a child. Liver and onions.
That go together?
Yes. And it was a fabulous dinner. I would love liver and onions with a little gravy on it.
Oh my goodness.
Apple pie for dessert. Yep.
Liver, onions, and apple pie. Look, Adam, you don't know nothing about that, do you?
Yeah.
Look, Adam, like, what?
And it's definitely about don't knock it till you try it. So that's the whole thing, just explore things in life. And that's what it teaches children, just to go ahead and try it. Don't knock it until you try it. You might just put a little bit on your plate. You might like it. So
I'm glad you said that. So the takeaway for the readers, what's the age group for your book series?
Well, it's a children's book. So it's from 0, you can start with your infant, all the way up to, I think, about 13 years old, could really benefit from these books. And the book 8 through 14 is a travel series. So any person who hasn't traveled the world, would definitely benefit from these books because we go around the continent. We go around all the continents. We travel to Asia, Australia, South America, Europe, of course, North America, Antarctica. And so we go to all these places and introduce children and families to places where they could go on vacation or just go right here on vacation in their minds.
Use their imagination. That's amazing. So, and I'm loving, I want to go back to the first book. And Tina on Facebook said, child, I have not ate that in years. I've been delivered.
Yes, liver and onions.
Liver and onions and apple pie. And so the premise of the book is to don't knock it till you try. Don't judge it. So it's teaching children which need to know because a lot of kids are like, oh, I don't eat that, and they never tried it.
Right.
So that's what the book is about.
Yep. And something I find at the daycare is, parents will say that children don't eat this or your children don't eat that. But at the daycare, the children eat asparagus, they eat broccoli, they're exposed to all kinds of things, zucchini. But because you don't cook it, you don't know that your child does eat it, and your child eats that every single day.
Interesting. And because you don't eat it,
Right.
then you saying, oh, my kid don't eat that.
Exactly.
I met somebody who told me their baby was vegan and he was like 5 months old. I was trying to figure it out, but that wasn't none of my business.
Right.
I didn't know if I should call protective services or what. Get that baby some meat.
Right. Need some protein in your life.
Some vegan, but it is what it is. So, but what I do like about your book, it's just not a book though, right?
Right. It's not a book. Not just a book. It's an activity series. So at the end of the books, it goes into Miss Allison Ask. Mm-hmm. And so then we ask open-ended questions and thought-provoking questions for the children, and that their parents can kind of like think about. Mm-hmm. We introduce them to vocabulary, reintroduce them because they heard the words in the story, but we, pull them out. And the words are tiered, and they elevate based on the child's ability level. But whatever word you teach a child, they're gonna understand it.
Yeah.
So
give us an example. I like that. I
Mm-hmm.
knew the activity. I didn't know about the vocabulary, which is pretty dope. Mm-hmm. Because as an adult, and I learned in elementary school, when you read and it's a word you don't know, you circle it, then you look it up, or you come back to it. Now on the phone, you can just tap it, highlight it, and say, look up this word. Mm-hmm. But for kids reading the books, now the parent can now help them to learn the words.
Exactly. And you can teach that, a little trick a parent could do is get index cards, and you can write these vocabulary words down and stick them up on their, wall, and make a word wall in your house. And the child can, and you teach your child how to read that way, because then they start becoming familiar with the words.
I see Fat Cat having flashcards in the back of the book they can just rip out.
My whole team with all the marketing. Fat Cat, the book, the baby doll, the flashcards, the backpack. Okay, it's all coming.
Listen, we gonna get it. We gonna get it down. So first book, Liver and Onion. Let's tell the readers the other titles, a little bit about the book.
So we got a sticky mess to learn what's best. Oh my, this is about consequences. There are every action causes a reaction. There are actions have consequences. Yeah. So that's what this book is about. Fat Cat gets himself into a sticky mess, and then he has to suffer the consequences. And that's a little fun one. Book 3 is one of my favorites. It's called The Color of Love. And this one just explores colors and how Allie is just really into rainbows. She loves every single color. Mm-hmm. And Tommy kind of picks on her because he thinks, that she's very indecisive. But it's not that she's indecisive. She's just very loving, and she's just very open. And so then this story, I don't want to give too much away, right, but this is the story that teaches empathy and compassion for another person. And Allie kind of gets to the bottom of why Tommy is so angry. And they end up becoming really great friends.
I love it. I love it. And then, the next one. These are, and you know what, believers, if you're not on Facebook, but we'll put it on our page. These books are very nice, high quality books, and it's just so dope. Where did you get the cat from? Now, I'm not a cat fan either, but this is one nice looking cat. What made you do the cat, the white cat?
What's funny? I had a cat for one day.
One day. Change your life in 24 hours.
One day. I had a cat that I loved one day, but I had to get rid of that cat. Like, it was too much responsibility. Okay. Yeah, I had to get rid of that cat.
And so
Fat Cat in the Family, that was my inspiration.
So you got your cat back now. Permanently, but on the book. And so for the listeners who are saying, now listen, it's 14 books. I think this is a great bundle package that can be used as gifts for Christmas. Mm-hmm. Now, what I do, because shout out to my Aunt Margie, God rest her soul, when I was younger, she bought us books. So now I do that with the kids in my life. I buy them books for birthdays and Christmas. And so I think it's a great idea. How can the people purchase the books?
Okay, they can go to my website. They can go to www.fatcatinthefamily.com. It's also available on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. And that's how you can get the book.
And if they want a signed copy?
Oh, then they have to go to my page and just send me a little message, and I can autograph the book for you.
Now, Tina said, I'm afraid of cats. Don't be afraid of Fat Cat. Listen, Fat Cat is friendly. You can definitely get it. Allison, shout out to you for doing what you've done to create this series. I can see I see the pictures jumping off the page. I can't wait to be one of the voices when it's a cartoon series.
I love it. I love it. You know what? We even have read-alongs that we're putting on YouTube. So I have one that I can make available to you and the believers.
All right. Now, listen, you got a special giveaway. Go on.
I do. I have a Okay, so my first book is free, but I just found out from my really good friend Shanita Davis that when she went through my website, that Shopify was charging at the end. So it is a free book, but I have to figure out how to get this shipping off. So yeah, and they're charging a shipping price, and I didn't know that that was happening.
So is it a free digital book?
It's a free digital book. It's a free download. But you all give me another 24 hours because Jeremiah Dean isn't picking up his phone.
He's a shout out to Jeremiah Dean. He did some great work.
Would you please pick up your phone?
The master prophet.
Right,
he hear you talking in the spirit.
So we can fix this problem for the believers and get these people this free digital download book so they can fall in love with Fat Cat and then go download the rest of them for $4.99 off my website.
Well, listen, make sure you go online, download the ones for $4.99, and then you'll get the free one once everything is fixed and straight. Right. But it's definitely a great book, and what you don't knock it till you try it.
Don't knock it till you
Livers, onions, and apple pie. Don't knock it till you try it. So try the books out. Download it, read it to your kids. I want all 14 of them, and I need them all signed to MJ and Maddox. I got to remember Maddox. I forgot him yesterday. I had the rapper just sign MJ name. I said, Lord, I got to remember. I got two.
You better go in there and write Maddox's name up there.
I know. So we got 7 books for MJ and 7 for Maddox, but make sure you go to Allison Inspires.
Go to AllisonInspires.com to find out more about me. The children's series, of course, and all my products, all my brands. Yeah. And if you want me to come and speak at your school or at an event, go ahead and book me.
I love it. Listen, you heard it right here. Fat Cat and the Family, the book series, books 1 through 14 are all available, right?
All available online. Like I said, www.fatcatandthefamily.com or Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com.
Listen, and we'll make sure that we pump it up on Monday about letting the believers know that the link is fixed and live for them to download the free copy. And you know what? Because we love you, believers, we giving all of y'all a free copy of Fat Cat and the Family, the first book. Even you, Adam.
Oh, thank you.
But believers, you know what else we're giving you? We're giving you a little break to enjoy the weekend because we are out of time, but we are never out of content. And we encourage you like we do each and every day to keep love alive. Allison, thank you for coming today and being with us. We love you.
I love you.
And we wish you nothing but great success. We got some other things coming down the pipeline. Allison will be back, or we'll do some call-ins to announce it. Right. But stay tuned, believer. Allison.
Event coming up on Eventbrite.
Yes.
So Santa is coming to town. You all go to Eventbrite and put in Santa Claus is coming to town.
Yep, and we're going to make it happen. So we encourage you to keep love alive. Tell someone that you don't know that you love them. Tell someone that you do know that you love them. Love will begin to spread like a wildfire. Believers, we love you. Baby Eminem, we love you. Up next, Tamara Fair, who's not on air, I definitely love you.
Up next, I love you.
Oh, that's it. Up next is H.C. Green. After that, Pastor DeAndre Patterson. We get it done all night long right here on Inspiration 1390. Hey, y'all, DJ B-Lo is late because he was getting his hair cut. See y'all. Love y'all.